If I woke up tomorrow as a 20-year-old with everything I know today, I wouldn't be obsessed with becoming rich overnight. I wouldn't spend my days trying to look successful. I would become obsessed with building a foundation. Because here's something nobody tells you when you're young. Your 20s don't decide your future overnight. They decide the habits, skills, and mindset that create your future. Most people think they have plenty of time. They believe they'll get serious at 25, start taking care of themselves at 30, save money when they're earning more, or learn new skills when life slows down. Life never slows down. The decisions you avoid today quietly become the problems you struggle with tomorrow. The first thing I'd focus on is my body, not because I want six-pack abs or because I want people to admire me online. I'd do it because energy is the foundation of everything else. You can't build a great career if you're constantly exhausted. You can't think clearly if you're sleeping 4 hours every night. You can't become mentally resilient while treating your body like an afterthought. Your body isn't separate from your success. It powers your success. Lift weights, walk every day, sleep enough, eat food that actually helps your brain instead of constantly chasing convenience. Most people wait until something breaks before they start taking care of themselves. Don't be one of them. The second thing I'd build is my ability to learn. The internet has made information free, but attention has become expensive. Watching videos about productivity isn't the same as becoming productive. Listening to podcasts all day isn't the same as building a valuable skill. Knowledge only changes your life when you apply it. Instead of spending hours scrolling through content, I'd spend those hours becoming good at something that makes me valuable. Writing, sales, coding, communication, marketing, design. It honestly doesn't matter which skill you choose. What matters is becoming so good that people are willing to pay for your ability to solve problems. Your income eventually becomes a reflection of the value you create. The third thing I'd build is financial stability. Not because money buys happiness, money buys options. It gives you the ability to walk away from situations that destroy your peace. It gives you time to make better decisions. It gives you freedom to choose the work you actually care about. Far too many people spend money trying to impress people who aren't even paying attention. If I was 20 again, I'd save before I spent. I'd invest before I upgraded my lifestyle. I'd avoid debt unless it genuinely helped me build something bigger. Because every dollar you save today is buying freedom for the future version of you. Then, I'd focus on something most people completely ignore. Decision-making. Life is simply a collection of decisions. Who you date, who you trust, where you work, what you learn, what you ignore. Every major outcome in your life starts with a decision, and better decisions don't come from luck. They come from wisdom. Wisdom comes from reading, observing, asking questions, making mistakes, and learning from people who have already walked the road you're trying to walk. One mentor can save you years of unnecessary frustration. One book can completely change how you think. One conversation can redirect your entire life. Don't let your ego convince you that you have to learn everything the hard way. Finally, I'd stop comparing my timeline to everyone else's. Social media has convinced people that if you're not a millionaire by 25, you're somehow behind. That's nonsense. Life isn't a race with one finish line. Some people discover their purpose at 20, others at 40. Some build businesses in college, others rebuild their entire lives after losing everything. Your timeline is yours. Don't waste years feeling like you're failing simply because you're comparing your behind-the-scenes life to someone else's highlight reel. The only comparison that matters is whether you're becoming a little better than the person you were yesterday. And maybe that's the biggest lesson I'd give my 20-year-old self. Stop chasing shortcuts. Stop chasing appearances. Stop chasing validation. Instead, quietly build yourself, build your body, build your mind, build your skills, build your finances, build your character. Because one day people will look at your life and call you lucky. They'll never see the years you spent building the foundation that made everything else possible. There are two phrases I would completely remove from my vocabulary if I were 20 again. It's too late. And what's the point? Those two sentences quietly destroy more dreams than failure ever does. People wait for the perfect time to start exercising. The perfect time to start a business, the perfect time to learn a new skill, the perfect time to save money. That perfect time never arrives. Momentum is built by starting before you feel ready, not after. I'd also become much more intentional about the people I spend my time with. The truth is, your environment is constantly shaping your standards. If everyone around you complains, you'll slowly begin to believe complaining is normal. If everyone around you is improving themselves, learning, building businesses, reading books, or chasing meaningful goals, you'll naturally begin to move in that direction too. You don't become successful because of one conversation. You become successful because you're surrounded by conversations that make growth feel normal. That doesn't mean abandoning old friends. It means making sure your future isn't limited by the expectations of the people around you. Another lesson I'd learned much earlier is this: track what matters. Most people say they want better results, but they never measure anything. They don't know how much they spend. They don't know how much they save. They don't know how many hours they waste. They don't know how many books they finished this year. They don't know how consistently they've worked toward their goals. You can't improve what you refuse to measure. Even something as simple as writing down your daily habits can completely change your behavior, because awareness creates accountability. And finally, I'd stop waiting for confidence. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after repeated action. Nobody feels ready the first time they speak in public. Nobody feels ready to launch a business. Nobody feels ready to invest. Nobody feels ready to leave their comfort zone. The people you admire aren't fearless. They've simply acted enough times that fear no longer controls their decisions. If I could leave my 20-year-old self with one final message, it would be this: don't spend your 20s trying to prove yourself to the world. Spend your 20s building someone you're genuinely proud to become. Because in the end, success isn't built in one dramatic moment. It's built through thousands of ordinary decisions that almost nobody notices. The workout you didn't skip, the book you chose to read instead of scrolling, the skill you practiced when no one was watching, the money you invested instead of spending, the difficult conversation you finally had, the promises you kept to yourself. Those moments don't feel life-changing when they happen, but stack them together over 5 or 10 years and they create a life that looks completely different from everyone who kept waiting for tomorrow. If I had one more chance to be 20 again, I wouldn't chase the fastest path. I would chase the strongest foundation. Because once your foundation is strong, everything else becomes easier to build. And that's the advice I'd give anyone who's still in their 20s, or anyone who's ready to start acting like their future actually matters. The best time to build your life wasn't yesterday. The second best time is today.